What up, people? Tone Space. Welcome to another Play and Reply, where, as I casually watch different YouTubers and people that speak about this or that, from the most controversial of issues, probably even down to some fun, comical, cool stuff, I'll just give my opinion and literally reply to these people, especially when there's something that I might not totally jive with or something that I got questions about, in the hopes that, hey, maybe they'll reply, maybe some people in the comment section that have some insight into what the matter is or whatever could reply, stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying, just to have a novelty of something to do on this here thing. You know what I'm saying? So this is another episode of Play and Reply, and today I'm going to be replying to the one Hassan Campbell, aka Poppy. Quick little background, as a lot of you may know, Hassan Campbell, aka Poppy, came out against Africa Bambaataa of the mighty Zulu Nation and alleged that that man was molesting him as a child. Let's face it, ain't really much of an allege about it. He blew up dude's spot. He said he ran through practically half of Bronx River, called him out for being homosexual in hip hop, which is, a little funny style, especially if you're claiming to be of Islam, belief systems and all that, as well as just anything from a pedophile to, at the very least, a child predator on young males in hip hop. He's done a lot of work in that thing, and he has his channels on YouTube. I mean, most of the people I kick it with on this side of the thing already know who he is, but for the sake of argument, I'll put his 3 channels in the description area if you're not in tune with him. I like watching his stuff. He's riddled with controversy ever since stepping out and talking his thing about Africa Bambaataa and whatnot. Now, often there'll be things that I don't totally jive with me right, that don't totally jive with me right, that I don't absolutely agree with. And this is somewhat one of those things. I mean, a lot of people just bang on them hard body, for all different reasons and, of all different varieties and methods of banging on him. I'm not one of those people. I like the work that he does. However, of course, like with anyone, there's things I don't agree with. There's people that he does not agree with, that he's caught up in huge little YouTube beefs with or whatever, that I personally rock with, or that a lot of times when they're beefing with him, I don't necessarily rock with that. The point that I'm trying to say is I try to stay out of that follower mentality. Oh, I'm on this gang, I'm on that gang, I'm on this side, I'm on that side. I just try to use discernment when I watch people, and I take the good from folks that I like, and the bad I just discard it. You know what I'm saying? And I could say Hassan Campbell is not one of them people that, in my opinion, has done something that I deem as totally so bogus and bad where I just can't mess with him at all and stuff like that. However, I will reply to something because this did spark something interesting. Now, a lot of you may know that this other brother, Ron Savage, who also came out against Africa Bambaataa, he's been working kind of behind the scenes to get certain legislation passed in New York State. Now, as of Monday, of this coming Monday, it is assumed that they have enough votes and stuff to pass this new law that I guess raises the age of a person that sexually violated someone when they were younger. I forget the exact ages and all that, but I believe it's something like you can charge a criminal case on them if this person is about like 28 or something, and a civil case if they're the age of 55 or younger. Don't quote me exactly, something like that. The point is, he was doing this, and a lot of people was hoping that this would be something that can get African Bambaataa some justice put upon Africa Bambaataa for all the victims that he did his disgusting things with. We'll still say allegedly because he ain't been charged with anything, but niggas know what it is or whatever, right? So all right, so that was the thing, and then there was a thing where one of the controversies with Hassan Campbell has always been, well, how come you do not take criminal actions against Africa Bambaataa? All right, is this thing acting slow? I think this thing is acting slow. Test 1 2. All right, pardon if this voice is all off the thing. Ain't really much I could do about it now that I done started the joint. But it is what it is. You can still hear what I'm saying, right? So one of the things people were saying is that how come Hassan Campbell has not sought criminal justice against Africa Bambaataa for what he's done with him? Hassan Campbell would often cite that the statute of limitation on that stuff has been done past or whatever. However, Hassan Campbell has said this himself. It's come out of his own mouth that he said that there are certain criminal actions that allegedly may or may have not taking place in regard to him and Africa Bambaataa, and that if he wanted to, he could jam up Africa Bambaataa based on those criminal actions. So then a lot of people were saying, well, how come you don't do that? Hassan Campbell's reasoning is that because that was street shit, to put it bluntly. That those things that he's talking about have nothing to do with child pedophilia, child rape, child abuse, or anything that happened to him by Africa Bambaataa, by the specific child abuse that Africa Bambaataa did to him. The shit that he could jam him up for has nothing to do with that. So he doesn't want to do that because he would see that as snitching. Now, a lot of people, take issue with that. They're like, yo, if you could jam the man up, just jam the man up. You going, all these other people going at you. You got this to say about that one, but you won't do this to Bambaataa, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I understand where he's coming from with that because, as Hassan Campbell will let you know, he's a, dude from the street. And, certain street shit is street shit. And pedophilia is pedophilia. Now, I think a lot of people, even, the most hardened of street criminals can agree that rape and child sexual abuse are jailable offenses that do not have anything to do with any code of, not taking, what I'm saying, of not prosecuting them. Let me amend that. Some people will say that, yeah, even that will be snitching. If that's the case, you go over there and you kill the dude yourself. It's debatable, but it's a lot more understandable if a street person gets someone, criminal justice towards someone that violated a child than it is if someone jams somebody up due to street activity or crimes that that person himself may allegedly have been involved with, right? So now, in light of a new bill that is supposed to be passed this coming Monday, people were of the idea that this may change the playing field. And of the time that he did this video, I believe that Hassan Campbell was also of the belief that this may change the playing field where Africa Bambaataa can be caught up due to the specific child abuse allegation between Hassan Campbell and him. Now, since then, because this all happened real fast. Ron Savage did a video saying like, yo, Monday this bill's going to be passed. It's going to raise the age of this, that, the third. Then I saw a video with Israel Doctrine, who actually said that it only applies to cases going forward, meaning that Africa Bambaataa, if Israel Doctrine is correct, that Africa Bambaataa cannot be held criminally or civilly accountable for the alleged child abuse allegations against him, because it will only apply to new situations that happen from the time of this bill passing and going forward. So basically, let's just get that out the way, because at the end of the day, as far as any practical solution of being able to jam Bambaataa up, according to what Israel Doctrine said, it cannot happen. I don't know for sure. I guess we'll find out as more actual details come about. However, the reason I'm doing this video in response to what Hassan Campbell said is because I don't think Hassan Campbell was aware of this. And this video is pretty much a reply to kind of like his mode of thinking, and it's kind of like a how come. I'm going to ask a question of how come. You know what I'm saying? How come you're taking this certain position? So just pretend that we didn't know that this cannot apply to Africa Bambaataa. Let's say in Hassan Campbell's mind, according to my opinion from what I've watched, he's of the impression that this new bill may be able to jam Bambaataa up, both by way of Ron Savage and both by way of Hassan Campbell himself, right? And we're going to go back to what Hassan Campbell once said, that prior to this bill, the statute of limitations said he couldn't do anything to jam him up. Otherwise, he would take criminal action against Bambaataa if he were legally allowed to do so. Now let's play Hassan Campbell's thing, and then I'm gonna, I'll get to the crux of what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Ron Savage, if you're watching this, man, I'm not sitting up here listening. You keep your head up, keep focused, because now, at the end of the day, no matter how much of a problem I have with you, Ron, I don't want to see you I don't want to see you get laid out in the streets. I don't want to see nobody kill you. You do not deserve to be killed because you came forward as a victim of Africa Bambaataa. But if you think that Bam is just going to let himself go to jail, you got another thing coming. Be on point. Stay away from these dudes. They're not your friend. Nobody's your friend when it comes to $1 million. Bam got money. All it takes is 500 to get your knot rocked. Stay on point, Ron. I'm telling you. Stop dealing with these YouTubers, Ron. If you're going to do your YouTube thing, do it by yourself. Build your own platform. Stop going on a platform. They don't love you, Ron. One minute they were sitting up there rocking with you. The next minute they sitting up there making fun of you being molested. Nothing funny about you being molested.
All right. Now, I was watching Sonetta. I first saw this clip from Sonetta's live stream where Sonetta was trying to put the spin on the situation to imply, allegedly, that Hassan Campbell was on Africa Bambaata's side and that he was trying to send a warning to Ron Savage saying, watch what you're doing, $500 could get you hit, yada, yada, yada. Now, of course, I don't know. I'm not Hassan Campbell. I'm not in his inner circle to know whether that's true or not. However, personally, I don't think that's the case. I think, the man's being genuine, saying like, look, I don't want to see you get hit over such and such nonsense, such and such. Watch yourself, hold your head, stay away from other people, and so on. I think he's being genuine when he says that. However, my issue is, now again, we're going to act like we don't know that this new bill only applies to cases going forward. We're going to take it back the few days where everyone first heard about this, because I believe earlier in Hassan's live stream he even said something along the lines of like, yo, I don't know if this can affect Bambaataa or not. However, if you once said, you know what I'm saying, my fellow light-skinned brother that also be mistaken as Puerto Rican, even though your nickname is Poppy, so I could kind of understand that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my man, if there was a time when people said like, why don't you take criminal action against Bambaataa for the child sex abuse and stuff like that, and your answer was the statute of limitations passed and that's the reason why you couldn't do it, then at the time of hearing that this new bill is going to be proposed and likely get passed, that at least according to what you may have thought at the time or what everyone may have thought at the time, opens the door for you to take criminal or at least civil action against Bambaataa for the child abuse that he did to you when you were a child. All right, it's cool giving, Ron that warning, saying like, watch what you're doing because, you know what I'm saying, you messing with the big dogs now. That's cool and everything, but at the same time, shouldn't you be like, yo, on the other hand, fuck it. If you open that door where I can now take criminal or civil action against Bambaataa, well shit, good looking. When this bill gets passed, I'm gonna be right down there, telling dudes what happened, and I'm going to join in this fight, and I'm gonna go against Bambaataa as well. Thank you for opening that door and allowing that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's all right that you're, giving a man a warning because you're probably being sincere. There's a lot of crazy heavy shit. You know what I'm saying? And quite honestly, I wouldn't even be doing this video had it not been for finding out that the bill that's being passed only applies for new cases going forward. Because in no way am I even trying to like rock with the shit so much where I want to influence anyone to, get their, take such action. You know what I'm saying? I'm just more so doing a report, and I'm trying to do a report and get an understanding of your method of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So the whole reason why you niggas can't do shit to Bambaataa is the reason why I'm actually bothering to do the video, to keep it real with you. So I understand you giving Ron Savage that warning or whatever. However, if you once said that you would do it if not for the statute of limitation, and now this bill is going to be passed where at least in your mind at the time you're like, yo, that statute of limitation may have been extended or whatever, then shouldn't you also be saying like, yo, at the same time, I'm going to be right here in a fight with you, you know what I'm saying, and, let me go down and, try to bring this man down? It seems like, what I'm getting at, it seems like you're still just detaching yourself from taking any action against him. You know what I'm saying? Of course, yeah, you don't want to get him jammed up on the street shit. That's understandable because, that street shit, that's a whole different world. But now there's this plausibility that for the specific child abuse shit that he did to you, you can now get justice and possibly bring this man down. As you were saying, you would hope that this man gets brought down and everything. And here you are kind of like, I don't know, son, you know what I'm saying? Be careful, them cats ain't playing around, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I'm trying to understand. Anybody in the comments could answer, or Hassan yourself. Now, I will admit, I did not see this entire live, so maybe you did address that. But from what I'm hearing from the feedback, you know what I'm saying, it sounds like you are just taking the stand of what you said in, in this very video, that, yo, watch yourself, watch your back. instead of joining in on the fight. Like, oh, word, statute of limitation ain't an issue no more. I bet it's time to bring dude down. I just found that a little bit weird. So, I'm wondering like why is it that you had that mentality? And of course, questions like this are going to be hard to answer because we're still dealing with the hypothetical, and we're just dealing with your mode of thinking at the time. Because for all practicality purposes, there ain't shit you could do. Because as Israel Doctrine pointed out, it only stands for new cases going forward. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like there is any criminal or civil action you can take against Bambaataa. You know what I'm saying? So some people say, well, why do you even want to know? I like to know what makes people's minds work. I like to want to know where people and how people think, and just get an understanding for how far they're willing to go in certain things and what they're willing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are speculating that Hassan does not really want to bring Bambaataa down. You know what I'm saying? So I think questions like these are somewhat important for that very purpose. But let's see. I think you might say a little something more here.
It's nothing funny about you being molested. Keep your head up, Ron. I'm telling you. Keep your eyes open. Keep your back against the wall. Look both ways before you cross that street, Ron. I'm telling you. This is not a threat for me. This is me telling you as a survivor, as somebody that came to Zulu Nation, your Zulu brother. Stay on point, Ron. Stay away from Sarnetta. That's not your friend. Ron Sarnetta is not your friend. Stay away from him. Anyway, people, I'll be coming right back at y'all. Look.
All right. I guess that's that. So it's like, stay away from Sarnetta. Watch out for these YouTubers. Watch out. Bam ain't playing. He got all this money. Meanwhile, when asked about this several times before, you gave the impression that if it were not for the statute of limitation, you would take action against Bambaataa. Here you have a situation where, as far as you thought, that option may be open, and all you got for the man is stay away from him, watch what you're doing, watch everything. I don't know. I just found that interesting. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, the shit don't apply to back shit. It only applies to shit going on forward. But I mean, at the same time, even though it can't apply to Africa Bambaataa himself, I think it is very good that this age has been extended. You know what I'm saying? To give people a lot more time to take civil and criminal actions against, abusers. You know what I'm saying? Just in general, this way going forth. So, good work on Ron Savage's part. And I mean, in general, good work on Hassan Campbell's part for, everything he does and the topics he touches upon and everything like that. I don't want this to seem like I'm banging on him, because I know a lot of people bang on him. However, when I see something that, makes me scratch my head, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to do my little play and reply and, try to get some more insight about it. And I think that's good. I think it's good for people to be neutral or to even question people that you even rock with, because this way, when you ask a question, you could be taken a lot more serious. You can't just hide it. Oh, he's just one of them people that's hating. I ain't going to answer that. Or look at him. He said this. He said that. That's ridiculous. So then when you ask an actual real sincere question of merit, it'll just get lost in all the other ridiculousness. Oh, he got that. He got this. He got that. You know what I'm saying? If I were one of them type of cats, then, what I'm asking and what I'm trying to figure out may not, have as much oomph to it, because you could just disguise me in the dirt and the nonsense that everybody else deals with. So there's a good reason why I like to just keep shit cool. I like to keep thinking critical. I like to keep discernment and, how I process what people say and everything like that. So, it's a good lesson, a little lesson there. Even if it's someone that you don't really rock with, it's kind of cool to stay just cool and collected, just so that when you question them or you want some more insight of something, you can actually get a real answer, because your questions could be taken serious, because you're not just like getting at everybody in a vulgar type of manner all the time. But that's about it. I think the next joint I want to do is going to be a play and reply on this cat Sinful to P. So yeah, look out for that real soon. All right, peace.